So for the UK fans today on the Lewis Nichols Show, I'm really excited to bring on my next guest. Loads of exciting projects going on at the moment. So let's say hello to Doc Gallows. How are you?
I'm great, Lewis. Thanks for having me on the show today, man.
Thank you for coming on. It's kind of, 2020 has been a really kind of a shit year for everyone, it's fair to say, but it's kind
Yeah.
of been a crazy and unpredictable one for yourself because going into the start of the year, we had no coronavirus. You were signed to WWE, and then look at where we are now. Completely different story. So I just want to touch upon a little bit about the release because I don't want to talk too much about it. So it's for a fan point of view. I never saw it coming. I mean, when you look at both you and Carl Anderson, you're popular. You know, the greatest tag team I felt in the WWE at the time, and then the release came. So, what were your thoughts on that? Was it something that you expected, or did it come as much of a shock to you as it did us?
No, I didn't expect it because we were coming off of the WrestleMania match with The Undertaker and AJ Styles and everything, and to be released 12 days later, I did not see it coming. But as soon as it happened, you know, we started moving forward. I always say we're not rearview mirror kind of guys. I was sitting in my sauna. I got off the phone with WWE, and I immediately went through my phone. And you know, we didn't know this pandemic was going to last or take hold on the world like it has. And I booked Carl and I in Peru and in Spain for some wrestling gigs over there, which obviously we aren't going to be able to do. And then we went. Then I thought, man, we just came off of this Boneyard match that everyone's talking about, this cinematic match that's going to be remembered forever. If we don't spoof this after we got let go, we are screwing ourselves big time. So that's kind of how the Talking Shop A-Mania idea was born, and now it comes to fruition this Saturday, August 1st. And the UK fans can watch on Fight TV, and I hope you all join in.
And the great thing about it with your podcast, because this, like I said, this year's been bad for a lot of people, but it's completely different to any wrestling podcast that I've heard. It's not so serious in the sense where it's boring. And it's one of those podcasts that I feel you can just let yourself go. It's like you're in a room with friends. You can open a beer and just relax. And especially if you're suffering with, say, anxiety and feeling a bit down, it's one of those podcasts that just lift you up because it's funny. The stuff that you discuss and the banter you have with each other is incredible. So the pay-per-view this Saturday, I believe, for Saturday night for UK fans, it's more of a spoof, isn't it? It's something that we can just enjoy, not to be taken too seriously, and there's going to be a lot of funny moments in there.
Yeah, it's important for me to get that out there to everybody. You know, this is it's a hard time in the world for a lot of people right now, and as entertainers and as professional wrestlers, and that being what we love and what you guys love or you wouldn't watch, I thought it was time to give everybody a laugh. So this isn't meant disrespectful. It's not meant to insult anyone. It's meant for you to laugh. If you're familiar with any Sex Ferguson or Chad Too Bad stuff, it's all done for you to laugh. The main event's a boner yard match. So where one man will be buried alive, and there'll be all kinds of shenanigans and cameo appearances from some of the biggest stars in professional wrestling, maybe stepping out of what you're used to seeing them doing and embracing a fun character and coming out and being a part of the shenanigans. We really had a great time making it. It's only $14.99, so not a bad investment, and I think everybody will really enjoy it. It was a fun, creative outlet for us.
And the best thing about it when you actually are on the podcast is when you get guests on and they're just so relaxed around you, because if they want to swear, they can swear. If they want a beer, they can have a beer. And it's just you bring out that side in people that we don't see, because when you watch WWE, it's kind of, you see how they want you to be portrayed, and now you've got the freedom to be who we know who you are. So are you enjoying that sense of freedom where you can actually show us what you're both about?
So much. We just kept saying when the handcuffs are off, it's going to be great for us. And that's why, you know, the podcast, like you said, and I appreciate you listening, that's the feel of that too. We don't format it. It's called Talking Shop because before we ever recorded anything, we started this in Japan years ago, but before we ever pressed record, we get done a big show, we grab beers at the convenience store, and we go, do you guys want to go talk shop in the hotel? Yeah, of course. And then we'd sit there and talk about wrestling or our wives or bullshit about our families or whatever else was going on. And that's what we did. So we started recording it, and now people like it. So it couldn't make me any happier, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's what you're going to get at Talking Shop A-Mania. And to further answer the question, Impact's been great that way too. The creative freedom there, them embracing us as us instead of characters they want us to portray. I think you as fans are going to see way more layers to both Carl and I, our personalities inside the ring and outside the ring. And I think that's kind of what makes us unique and what makes us us, is that stuff. So this is a very, very exciting time for me professionally.
And staying on the kind of topic with Impact, I mean, I've personally felt in the last few years it's been kind of an underwhelming promotion to watch. And then you guys announced that you're going to be part of it. And Slammiversary, it's one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a long time. The excitement, the surprises. So what made you guys want to sign for them? Because a lot of fans just thought automatically AEW. I mean, you have seen the rumors yourself. So what felt right about Impact?
Well, in September when we were negotiating and we were wanting to leave WWE before we re-signed, AEW had put together a really nice offer for us, and we ended up not taking that deal. So we were in contact with AEW after the release, but we never asked them for a job, and they never really offered one. It never went any further than just talking. But I mean, from the moment the release was announced, Scott D'Amore was on the phone, and he was putting together a deal I couldn't imagine that they could put together. We're going to do a carve out for New Japan Pro Wrestling. We know you guys, your hearts are there. That's what we've always wanted to go back to. So we're going to be able to do that as well, have dual contracts. Then it was really important for us to promote Talkin' Shop, the podcast, to promote Talkin' Shop A-Mania, the beer brand we have coming out. And they were basically like, yes, let's do that. So I'm all about putting on the Impact hat, waving that flag for them, because I think there is a great product there that people have been sleeping on. I think it just got a lot better. And them wanting to wave the Talkin' Shop flag, I mean, it was absolutely the right fit. And coming off of Slammiversary and the set of tapings we just did, I think it was absolutely the right decision. And I think that we're only going to see that company go up from here.
And I know that wrestling in Japan is something that's kind of very special to you, but I wanted to kind of ask, for you, is the main difference between wrestling in Japan and, say, in the US? Is there a different vibe that you love? What is it about Japan that wrestlers just, love?
Yeah, it's just so different. From the booking to the physical wrestling style to the fan reaction, the respect of the fans. Not to say that there's not respect, with fans everywhere, but it's a different kind of respect in Japan. Learning how to control that audience is great. And, when you come out of one of these big American companies, sometimes there's a lot of political stuff going on. And at least for me, when I was working in Japan, I never saw it. I went to the ring, did my job, do a good job, and things go well. And that's kind of how I think it should be. And we missed that a lot. So I'm really looking forward to pro wrestling as a huge reason as well.
And I mean, for a lot of people, that, like you said, when you moved on, we were really surprised. So what are your feelings now towards the company? Could it be a case that you might return one day? Are your relationships still good with those like Vince and Triple H?
With WWE?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's who knows if that would ever be a thing or not. Right now, that's not anything in our mindset. We were in a grind there. We were in a grind creatively, travel-wise, just a lot of different things. It was nice to be compensated the way that we were, but we're going to make just as much money on the outside, and not that's the most important thing. But to not feel that stress and to be able to be creative and to do things like Talkin' Shop A-Mania, not to just relentlessly promote it, but I would never be able to do anything like that under the WWE umbrella. So to be able to step out and kind of find yourself and show people what you're really about is a very big breath of fresh air that I'm welcoming. So I would never say never to anything, but
yeah,
I don't see that happening.
Do you know what's really nice to see? I mean, we've had Heath on the show several times, and to see him now, he's got that freedom, and he looks incredible. He's gone to the gym, worked so hard, and he's got this buzz that I've never seen him have before. And same with EC3. He's got so creative. So it's like you've been given a platform to do what you've been able to do all along.
It's funny, man. I was telling Heath the other day, because Heath is a close personal friend of mine for a decade and a half now. And we were driving over to the Impact studio together, to the Impact Zone for TV the other day. And I said, like, you and I are like pregnant ladies right now. We have that glow to us that's been missing for so many years. But it's honestly the truth. And seeing him outside of just, being handed what he was going to do or sitting in the back at catering, that's a talented guy. that hasn't had a chance to really show the world that, and not in the last couple of years anyway. So I'm very excited, and some of the work I saw him do already down there, man, it's don't sleep on Impact Wrestling. Don't sleep on Heath Slater. It's going to be
And
it's going to be great.
With AJ, obviously, you and AJ are such good friends, and you had a chemistry like I've never seen with a team before. So do you keep in touch with AJ, and could you see yourself working together in the future when his contract expires?
Oh yeah. When he gets too old to wrestle, we're going to force him to come to New Japan. Be our manager.
Be your manager.
Yeah, we talk all the time. AJ's our both of us. We're super supportive of him, and on the road is always very fun. We had a lot of fun together.
So we're going back to what we can expect on the pay-per-view. So we've got people like Heath. We've got loads of other people. So can you tell us some kind of exclusives on what we can expect? I'm looking forward to seeing what Heath's going to do.
Yeah, Heath will appear more than once on the pay-per-view. There's a ton of great cameos, man. There's a social distancing battle royal. There's a tribute to the 90s segment we put together that I really loved. There's some great interaction between Rocky Romero's character Chico El Luchador and Chavo Guerrero that I think is – I thought the Boner Yard was excellent, but there's stuff. And then some great obscure wrestling cameos throughout the Boner Yard match that I do not think people will expect. So I'm very, very excited to hear the response about that. I just actually got off a phone call with Fight TV, and it sounds like the numbers are actually moving pretty well. So I'm excited that we got some buzz on this, and I can't wait to see what people think. Remember, it's the worst pay-per-view ever. It's a parasite. Relax, have a couple beers, enjoy yourself, take it for what it is. It's supposed to be fun. I think people will really.
We seem to be losing you there. I think we're losing connection. Can you hear us?
Oh, really? Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
So, I mean, with people, I would suggest, and I've said to so many of my friends, to listen to some of those podcasts. Because I think when you listen to just a couple, you'll know what to expect. And I think that's what's making me excited, because it's just so funny. You wouldn't expect from a podcast for it to make you laugh so much. It's when you're all just together and you're having a beer and you're talking, and it's just you don't script anything. It just comes so naturally, and that's what I think I'm excited for.
Yeah, absolutely, man. If you haven't listened to Talking Shop, listen to it wherever you listen to your podcasts. It's Talk, the letter N, Shop. It's Carl Anderson, Rocky Romero, myself. Occasionally there are guests, and there is never any rhyme, reason, or semblance to why we do anything. The only time we ever argue is when we go, hey, we were supposed to talk about this, but we just forgot. Started telling fart jokes or whatever we were doing. So we don't get much done, but we have a lot of fun.
And just last question for because I know you've got loads of kind of work before the pay-per-view. So with going to Impact now, you've got loads of talent that's been there for a while. So do you think having such high-profile names like yourself and Carl going there, do you think it makes them want to up their game in the sense where they need to fight for their opportunity on TV?
I think it makes everybody hungry. It creates a hungry locker room whenever there's an influx of talent. There was a big influx of talent. I think all the heavy hitters, the mainstays on that roster, now they got some more eyes on them that they maybe didn't have for whatever reason. And now we're stepping up, they're stepping up, and the competition breeds greatness, man. And there's some dream matches to have there. You know, you get the Motor City Machine Guns in the tag team division. You got Eddie Edwards with the World Heavyweight title. Those are all guys we want to be in the ring with and we want to make some magic with. And, everybody's stepping up. It's going to be a really good time for pro wrestling. I'm pumped up about it.
Well, Doc, I want to say thank you so much for giving us your time here in the UK. And genuinely, I'm a fan of the podcast. And for me, the lockdown's been quite a tough time in the sense of just we're feeling down, missing friends and family. And actually, your podcast has at times taken me to a really good place with having a laugh. And I know my friends feel the same. So I'm excited for Saturday. We're going to get the links out there for people to watch in the UK, and best of luck with it all.
Hey, thanks very much. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Please, everyone, tune in to Talking Shop A-Mania. Remember, it's pro wrestling. It's supposed to be fun. And Lewis, thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much. Take care.